Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Glam Lupus and Love. It's me, Kia. So, I'm in a different scenery and it took me a little while to make this video because I just had some major stuff going on. So, you guys know that I've been doing my healing stuff and trying to heal my past and trying to figure out why I'm so hurt and broken. So I was doing that, and but I would be trying to talk to my husband about it as well. But him being a politician and the times is just never the right time for him to really sit down and talk to me. So, but I did try, right? So I ended up just really keeping it inside, trying to do it myself. And I have my oldest son. He is, although he was not born, he wasn't raised this way, but he turned out to be a street, person. So he was into the illegal stuff, and he done got stabbed, he got shot at, he got pistol whipped before. Mentally, he's just not all the way there. He does have some trauma, some PTSD going on, and he lives in North Carolina. So he was coming up so that I can help him mentally to get some help. So while I'm trying to help him, I'm also trying to help myself too, because I'm still, dealing with all the pain and the hurt from my life, right? So he ends up exploding one day. And at first, I just let it be, but my baby son was like, "Ma, you should really go help him. You should really try and this and that." So what ended up happening is he really exploded. And I ended up, my baby son called my husband, to tell him what happened with our son. And from there, I don't know really what happened, but when I came home, the pain and the anger on my husband's face just took me over the edge. So he told me that, my husband told me that everything is my fault, that I'm the reason why he is the way he is. And that hurt me. That hurt me a lot. So I was sitting on my porch for a little while and just thinking about everything. And the more I sit, the deeper and deeper this hole got. So I end up getting in the car and driving to the bay to some water. And as I was sitting there, I was just crying, like everything that happens to me happens because of me. I can't never do nothing right. I'm just hurting my children. I'm hurting my family. I'm just burdening everybody. Even when I try to help people, it just always seems to backfire. Lord, I don't have a purpose. This is, you just put me on this earth to struggle and to be in pain. I don't want to do it no more. I'm tired. So I'm crying and crying and crying. People calling me left and right. I'm just ignoring it. Then finally, I have 3 sons. So my second oldest son calls me, but I didn't pick it up for him. I didn't pick it up twice because I was just so down and broken. And then finally, my car, it's a boat ramp where the water is. So my front tires was in the water. Like I was about to drive in the water. And finally something said, just answer the phone. So it was my mom that called me. I answered the phone, and she was saying what's going on and all this stuff. And she asked me where I was. And I said, I'm at the water. And she said, "Why are you at the water?" I said, "Because I'm thinking about driving in it." And tears I just lost it, hysterical. She said, Kia, don't say that, all this and that. Don't see that. Don't say that. Promise me you'll go get your oldest son, take him to a hotel, and you stay too. Just please don't do it. Please promise me, promise me, promise me. Okay? So I said, okay. Now, because I am who I am, even though I'm broken, I still am a person of my word. So I promised her I went to go get my son, my oldest son, and to take him to a hotel. My second oldest son, the one that was calling me, jumped in the car. And we went to go get my oldest son, take him to the hotel. And then after we got him squared away, now mind you, my husband done left. He done drove off somewhere. Don't nobody know where he at. He not answering his phone either. I don't know what my son and his dad talked about, but whatever it was, it got him very, very angry. So finally, I drop him off. And my son's telling me he's not mad at me, but he didn't really tell me everything that he told Dad. See, he likes to sugarcoat it for me so that I don't get mad. So he didn't tell me everything. He just told me that he did talk to Dad. Okay, and so we put him in a hotel that I was going to drop my son off at home. And my intentions was to go back to the water because I've had it and I made up in my mind that it's over. This is done. But something about my son, his spirit on him would not leave me alone. So I'm begging, I'm trying to pick a fight with him so he can get out. Like, I just wanted him to leave me alone so I could be alone. And I wanted to drive back to the water. I wanted to go in the water. And I don't know if the Spirit of the Lord told him that to just not leave me, but he was like, Ma, something told me not to leave you alone. And the way I was feeling, I was going in that water. So he never left me though. My son never left me. So I ended up parking the car and I went into the house. They were cleaning up and stuff, and I went into my room, cracked the door, and I just cried the whole night. I didn't go to sleep at all. The next morning, I called my mom. I'm like, Mom, I'm coming. And she's like, when? I said, right now, I'm just coming. You have to send me some money to get down there. So that's what I did. I got up around 10 o'clock, went there. My son had to check out the hotel, so I was going to take him back with me. But he was like, when he came to the house, he was like, no, Dad said I can stay. So I let him stay. So me and my baby son went to, we rolled on out to North Carolina. By this time, my husband done started talking back to people. So he told me that he had drove to Ohio, and just to clear his head, he was just so angry at what my son told him. Now, apparently, my son told him that everything that happened to him was his fault. He ain't never been a good daddy to him and all that. Now, the same words that he said to his father, four of my older girls said the same thing to him. So it took him for a loop. My husband is a good guy. He's a good provider. He does anything for anybody. He'll give you the shirt off his back. So he definitely does not deserve it. Do he have flaws? Yes, everybody does. But we work through it and we try to overcome it, right? So I didn't know he told him all of that. So my husband's telling me this. He said, I drove to Ohio to clear my head, and I slept in the car, and I'm on my way back now. I told him, okay, but by the time you get here, I'm gone. And he was like, where you going? I said, North Carolina. And I told him I'm taking our baby with us because my second oldest son had to work. And I told him our older son is going to be at the house. You told him he can come back to stay, so he's going to stay with you. You got to take care of him too. I can't do it. I was going to drive into the water. Like, I can't. And nobody's listening to me. I'm hurting and I can't do it. I just need to get out. So, he hangs up with me. My sons give me a hug and a kiss, and my baby son told me, not my baby son, my second oldest son, the one that wouldn't get out the car. He told me, he said, Mom, if you ever feel like you don't have a purpose, just know that you do. I love you. And my son is getting ready to be a firefighter. And he said, I wouldn't even be on this road to becoming a firefighter if it wasn't for you. You pushed me, and I'm doing all this to make you proud of me. If you was to leave me, I would be a totally different person. I will be violent. I'll be ready to fight. I'll be ready to do all this stuff because I don't have you here. So just know that I love you, and you do have a purpose, and you matter to me. If nobody else, you matter to me. That touched me so deeply. Like, I cried and cried and cried. Now, mind you, I'm going through all of this. My body is still hurting. I'm flaring up really, really bad. So, and you know, when you get stressed, the lupus flares up more. So not only am I crying, I'm hurting mentally, but I'm hurting physically too. So I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta get out of here. So I woke my kid up and was like, come on, let's go. We going. So my mom sent me money and we drove. And it took us 10 hours to get here. When I pulled up to my mother's house, you know, she was very happy to see us, and especially because I was going to commit suicide. And she gave me a hug. My mother is not an affectionate person. She's not the one to give you a hug, not the one to say she loves you. She doesn't give kisses. Like, she's not affectionate at all. And she's a very strong-willed, strong personality woman. And we, like I said before, we never really got along because I felt like a lot of stuff that happened to me, it was her fault. She could have prevented it. So the spirit drove me right back to my mother. So my son knocked on the door. My mom opened the door. Then my son went and grabbed all the bags out the car, and I walked in the house, and she gave me the biggest hug. And I just burst into tears again. And she said, Kia, I don't like seeing you like this. I'm like, what do you mean? And she's like, I don't like seeing you in pain. I said, Ma, I thought you never cared. And she said, you are my only daughter, my only baby. I care about you more than anything. That touched me deep down in my soul. I just cried and cried and cried. And she was like, stop crying, stop crying. And I went in the room. By the time we got here, it was nighttime because we left around 11 o'clock that morning. So I came in the room, took my medicine, and I went to bed. The next day, really didn't get much sleep because my mind was still not there. And the next day, she came in and she lay with me in the bed. And she began to ask me what was going on. And I just began to tell her everything that was going on with me. And she was like, I know we can't pick and choose our family. And I know that you have pain from the past. She said, but we all do. But I am the way that I am because of traumas, which are with her sister and my grandma, her mom, and her sister. So she said, I had to be this way because our family would have fell apart if I wasn't. But she said, just know that no matter what it looked like, it's not it. She said, no matter how I treated you in the past, I love you. I love you more than anything, and I'm going to always be there for you. Always. And she gave me another hug and held me. That shocked me so deeply, I started crying again. She said, Kia, don't you know how beautiful you are? And I'm like, Mom, I'm not beautiful. I'm ugly and I'm fat. And she was like, no, you're beautiful and you're strong. The women in our family are strong and you are strong. And the moment that you fix your mental, your physical will line up. My mom don't never talk to me like this, right? So when she begins to talk to me and hold me and kiss me and stuff, that's like, she do love me. I thought all these years she hated me, and she do love me. She wants what's best for me. That moment that I realized that she loves me, that's when I can finally forgive myself for the past. I had this false perception of my mother, and it was totally not what I thought. So I'm still here, and I'm still with my mom. This is going on the second day. This is the second full day that I've been here. I am feeling a lot better, but I still have work I need to do on myself. But it's getting better. I'm finally being able to be happy. I can feel it. I don't have it all the way, but I do feel like a let up. Like it's loosening up. So I hope this helps somebody. If you don't have nobody to talk to, I got a group on Facebook called Hurt People Hurt People. Go get added to that group. It's a very good group. We just really just help each other. There's hotlines, there's pastors, there's all types of resources out there. So just remember that you do have a purpose. No matter what it looks like, what it seems like is not what it is. You have a purpose. God loves you. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And share this video. Bye.